Some people store fat around the glutes, others store fat around the belly. It's day one of my cut. Now you might think, why does she need to cut? She has an ab line and she has some definition. My body fat repartition is very different. Some people store fat around the glutes, others store fat around the belly, and I store it forward. I don't store it like this, so some people will store it here, which makes their waist look larger. I store it forward, and there is nothing wrong with that because it's genetics. It's not some kind of disease. It's not because you have a problem with hormones. I got it checked, and I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm gonna say. Of course, some people have a problem, but most people, it's just genetics. So I just want you guys to stop associating a belly that looks like this with some kind of cortisol belly, hormone belly. Most of the time, it's just genetics. And at some point, you have to own it. So that's why I'm showing you this. Like, I'm not really comfortable showing you this in the gym, but I need to show you this because we, at some point, need to own it. Okay, it's not a shame to have this kind of fat repartition. It's just like everybody else. So you might think, oh, maybe she has done it wrong. No, it's just that even if you clean bulk, you are going to gain a little bit of fat. And every time I gain fat, it comes here because that's my genetics. And after some time, you will see that it will change super fast. I also have a lack of definition here, as you can see. Like, I have a little bit of fat, which makes my biceps and triceps and deltoids disappear. We can't see the definition here. And on my back, I don't have a lot of things going on here.
They're living for the weekend, wasting a week. Outside therapy talk is cheap. My worst enemy is me. Most of these people don't see. I wish I tried to tell them I wish I tried to tell them, yeah, good riddance. Now I don't live by the same old limits. I do my meetings, I take my minutes, give them when they're due them credits. Always in point, but I could be a menace. Hit the take this shit. So many levels, so many cultures, so many good ones, so many vultures.
Okay guys, it was the end of my session, and of course I always end with stretching, foam rolling, because it's super important. If you are always sore and you can't recover properly for your next session and you're not doing this, I don't know what you're doing and what you're waiting for, because it has been a game changer for me before and after my workouts. And also before your workouts, it calms down your overactive muscles. Fat caliper, and this is to measure my waist. If you're interested, I can post tutorial. Basically, instead of doing a DEXA scan that's super expensive or an in-body scan that is also super expensive, you can use a $10 tool every time you want to bulk or cut to estimate your body fat percentage. And honestly, I'm really impressed with how accurate it is, because I just calculated online. You can do the calculation by yourself, but I'm not gonna waste time on that. It's just a formula that is going to be used by those calculators. What were you thinking when I first showed you my belly? Maybe you were thinking that I was around 25% of body fat percentage, or even just 22% of body fat percentage. I say this because a lot of people on my last cut overestimated the amount of fat that I had. I noticed it when someone gets rid of 1 kg because it is noticeable. Okay, so I think the problem with our current society is that we always talk about fat as a huge number, you know, like we only talk 10 kg, 20 kg, 30 kg. That's really nice. It's good if someone was overweight and they were able to do this, but we forget about the small wins, the small numbers that could really change drastically a physique. Like 3 kg will drastically change my physique. Broccoli, rice, and ground beef. And I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say, you always tell us to eat complex carbs. I usually eat brown bread, so I'm not even that into rice in general, like not even brown rice or white rice. Except for the sushi bowl. But basically I ate this because my sister made a lot of it. Are we just gonna sit here and pretend that broccoli tastes good? Because I'm really eating that because of the benefits. I don't really like it, but if I did exactly what I wanted to do, I wouldn't be fit. if you have some recipes that I can use for this broccoli, I would really appreciate that. Tip for you if you want to learn to do cable crunches the right way. It's spinal flexion and a little bit of extension as well. The cat cow stretch is a very good example of what spinal flexion and spinal extension looks like. So if you do this exercise, you will understand the mechanics behind the cable crunch and how to activate your abs the right way. See how she flexes her spine? Very good spinal flexion. Okay, it's not my favorite time ever, but I always get used to it, you know? My first week it was really hard, like I got bored when I was doing cardio. And then week after week, it just started getting better. I started just enjoying it. I put the cardio machine in front of the TV because I watch a series. As you can see, I have a bit more definition than when I started this week, but still, it's not a huge difference. I can really notice that it's much more water weight than fat. Now that I finally got rid of a lot of water weight, we can start losing real fat. And today I have my upper session, so it's chest day, triceps, and shoulders. I wanted to say that this week, it wasn't that hard, you know, like I didn't feel hungry. As I told you guys, I always eat high volume so that I never get hungry, and I eat snacks. But what I found to be the hardest, and it might be surprising to some people, is that I just got mood swings.